Okay. All right. Thank you so much for coming. My name is Erica Chavarria. I am the founder and executive director of Columbia Community Care. This meeting tonight is for current or potential dispatch translators who volunteer on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays to help with our home delivery service. This position is incredibly vital for the operations of our delivery service and to make sure that our families are able to communicate and taken care of, and that our shoppers have a smooth process as well. So I wanted to kind of just give a little bit of a rundown of what the job entails, and then also take any questions or concerns from participants. I'm not sure if either one of you have volunteered in the past or if are thinking about volunteering, but we'll save questions and concerns for the end, and I'd be happy to answer any of those questions. So this position is really just the liaison between the families who are receiving deliveries and what we call shoppers, who are in charge of collecting the orders and delivering to families who are receiving deliveries. Our pantry is located at the Columbia Flyer building. We used to house our delivery pantry at 2 different churches who returned to normal operations. So we are very fortunate that we have our pantry now at the Columbia Flyer building. And so we are operating this service on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Wednesdays and Fridays, and from 9:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. on Fridays. And so what will happen is the night before the day that you have signed up to volunteer, you should receive an email, and please forgive any glitches that we've had. This is a new system that we're using, so we're doing the best that we can for now. We know that it's not always perfect, but you'll receive a email that has a list of the volunteers who are assigned to you as a translator, as well as all of the families that shopper is shopping for, their order, their phone number, their name, and their address. So the first thing that's the most important is to take a look at the orders and make sure that you see that there may not be something kind of odd. For example, sometimes for whatever reason, it could be an issue with literacy. It could be just a glitch on our system. Sometimes we have folks who accidentally request every size of diaper. Obviously, no one needs every size of diaper. If that happens, what you would do is, and we're hoping to start a new routine of contacting families the night before, if possible. If not, the morning of is okay. And just saying to the family, either through a text or a phone call, who you are, your name, the fact that you are volunteering with Columbia Community Care, that the family will be receiving an order the following day or that day if you're texting the morning or calling the morning of. And then going over the details of the order. If you see something that may look a little off, like the every size of diaper, you can ask the family at that time, what size of diaper do you actually need? If you see that there's multiple marcas, brands, I couldn't think of the word, brands of formula, for example, usually families will only choose either like Infamil or Similac. If you see that they've chosen both, usually that's a mistake. Ask which one they want. And then one of the most important things is just to confirm the address. We have a lot of times problems with, either addresses are entered wrong, there's a missing apartment number, there's a missing door code. Maybe we've had several occasions where the family has moved from the time that they submitted the order to the time that they're receiving the order, so the address is now different. All of these things happen. All of us working in this really important service are all human, and we all make mistakes, and we all we have to be patient with one another. And so just making sure, double confirming that the address is correct, making sure that there's nothing weird with the order, And so again, if it's possible, if you receive the email in time the night before, to contact all the families and just let them know that they're going to be receiving the order the next day, that's great. If not, the morning of, as early as you're able to get up, and text would be great as well, to text them or call and say that they're receiving an order. If the family has any type of concern, they may not be home at a certain time. They may let you know that you know, one of their members is working, but someone else will be home. Whatever their needs are, at that time, you can communicate that to your shopper. In the email, you'll have the phone number of the shoppers as well. The phone number of the shoppers that's assigned to each family. And so you are definitely able to communicate with the shoppers. You can say, hi, my name is such and such. I am your volunteer dispatch translator for Columbia Community Care today. Wanted to let you know that family such and such, and whatever the message is that needs to be relayed. If there's no particular message and everything is good and the families have responded, you can just go ahead and say, everything's good for today. Let me know how your day goes. So what should happen at that point is the shoppers are instructed to let you know when they are on their way to the pantry and when they are on their way to deliver each order. You can decide, depending on how busy your day is, depending on where you are in your day, how often you contact the family to let them know of the updates. When I translate, I try to say, I try to let them know your shopper has just arrived at the pantry. They're getting ready to collect your order. If I have time, sometimes I don't have time in my day, and so I just let them know when the order is on the way. That is a good question. I am recording, and I will be posting this to our Columbia Community Care Facebook page, as well as emailing it out to everyone who has signed up thus far as a translator. So it will be on the Facebook page, and you can get that recording later. Thank you for that question. So one of the other things to remind our families is that, just so they're aware, that they cannot submit another order for delivery for 7 days after their last delivery. If they do, the system will reject their order. But we also have to make sure that they understand this, because we have hundreds of families waiting for deliveries. And in order to make sure that we are serving as many people as possible with quality service, we have to make sure that although people are hungry and they need orders, and we are very aware of that, we need to make sure that they know that they cannot order another delivery or submit another order until 7 days after their last delivery. So just a reminder text, or just if you're calling your families, just a reminder to let them know that fact. The shoppers are also instructed to take a picture of the order in front of the door. The picture should not include the people who are receiving the order, just for, we want to make sure that everyone's anonymous. But we do want to make sure that the picture indicates the order that they see. We can see that it has been delivered. That way, in case there is a mishap, it's delivered to the wrong place, we can send a picture to the family and say, your order was delivered here. They can let us know that's not our address. So we have documentation that the order was in fact delivered. Obviously, occasionally someone will get into the picture. It's a mistake, but we try to make sure that our families stay anonymous. We don't want to have their pictures floating all over the place. We just, for safety concerns, and just to protect their privacy. And if a family does not answer either a text or a phone call, which happens quite often, the best that we can do is just drop the delivery and hope that they will get there. Obviously, we wish that there was a better method. We hope that all families answer the phone or answer a text message. Unfortunately, that doesn't always happen. But we do want to make sure, sometimes phones are cut off if they don't have, funding to pay the phone bill. A lot of times phones will be cut off and they cannot communicate, but they are waiting for an order. And so just to be safe, we like to make sure that even if they don't answer the phone or a text, that we do deliver. Obviously, that can cause some issues. For example, if there's a door code that's not working and the shopper cannot get in, that is a problem. We try to avoid that as much as possible, but mishaps happen. And many of our shoppers are really understanding, although we don't like to waste their time. But typically 9 times out of 10, the family will, although they're not responding, will receive the order. And sometimes they don't answer the door, again, for privacy reasons. So if a shopper is knocking and saying no one's answering, you can just say, leave the order in front of the door, and hopefully we'll have somebody that will come get it. But there's not much else we can do if a family is not responding to texts or answering the door. At the end of the day, or at the end of your shift in this volunteer position, if you could just let the family know, I'm sorry, before that, once the order is delivered, obviously let the family know your order was delivered, send the picture if necessary, and hope that they receive their order. At the end of the day, if there has been any issues or concerns, there is a form that should be attached to the instructions document. If it's not, I will put that in there. But the form is only to be filled out if someone did not receive an order that you are aware of. So if there was a family that called you and said, we never got this order, that is a form that you can submit. It's a Google Doc, it's a Google form, I'm sorry, and it should be in the instructions. If it's not there, I will make sure it's there tonight. But you do not have to fill one out for every single family that has received an order. It's only if there has been an issue and you are 100% sure that a family did not receive their order, then you can fill out that form. Other than that, at the end of the day, if everything's good, you're good to go. And we really appreciate your time and your service. And if you have any problems at all throughout the day, you can either contact myself, and I'll make sure that my phone number is embedded in the instructions document. It should be in there, but if it's not, again, I will make sure my phone number is in there so that if there's any problems, you can always text me. I do believe that our pantry managers' phone numbers are there as well, but I will also include that in our instructions document to make sure that the pantry manager, either April or Jason, also can communicate with you if there's any issues throughout the day. And so that is the overview of the job. We know that it is time consuming, but it is also very necessary because we want to make sure that our families are able to communicate their needs, and that we do have a large population of families that are Spanish speakers. We also do have on call French speakers and Chinese and Korean speakers. And so if you encounter a family that is neither an English speaker nor a Spanish speaker, you can absolutely text me and say, I have a family that I cannot communicate with. I think they speak such and such language, and we can get a translator on the phone for those cases and make sure that they're covered. And also, I will be sharing a sample text message. I'm going to add this to the instructions document as well, which is emailed when you sign up. But I have a sample text message that I send as well that is in English, Spanish, and French, which are the top 3 languages that we encounter with our delivery service. So I have a text message that I send. I will put that sample in the document as well. So I think that is it for me, for my end. I do want to open it up to any questions or concerns. If you have experience doing this and there's a problem that you can continuously encounter, let me know. But I'm going to open it up to see if anyone has any questions. And if not, we will be posting this recording as well. And thank you, by the way, for coming. And questions can be you can either unmute or type.
So I used to be a volunteer at Columbia Community Care. I fell out due to business, but I recall that back then it was tabling and kind of like just food distribution. So yep. It's quite impressive that it grew to delivery. So all of it's through the use of your phone, and you have contact with the coordinators, and you're basically in contact with the families. You get like the family's phone number, and of course it's only between you and not obviously privacy. So
yeah. Yep. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah, we still have our in-person sites on Saturdays. We are at Oakland Mills Middle School, Wild Lake Interfaith Center, and Long Range Village Center on Saturday mornings from 10 to 12 for in-person. So community, folks in the community can go and pick up what they want on Saturdays. Our delivery service usually is for families who don't have transportation or cannot get to our sites on Saturdays for whatever reason. And so, yeah, we've expanded and so this particular volunteer position, the delivery service, so we have volunteers still that we need at our sites, and everything's on our website, which is just columbiacommunitycare.org. Under the page that says I can help, there's a spot where you can find all of our signups. So volunteer opportunities are still available at our in-person sites at whatever the 3 locations. And then this particular position is the translator position. And so, yeah, so you're free to be wherever you need to be. You don't have to be at a specific location. We just need you to be on your phone and accessible to be the liaison between the volunteers who are picking up the orders and the families who are receiving the orders. And we do also have volunteer positions for shoppers who are the volunteers that go pick up the order. So you're not actually in a grocery store, you're at our headquarters at the Columbia Flyer building. We have a pantry there. So shoppers and translators receive an email the evening before your volunteer day with all of the information. So it has the families that you're assigned to, their entire order, their contact information, their address. But yeah, the position of the volunteer translator is to be the liaison between the families receiving the orders and the what we call shoppers who are picking up the orders and delivering them. And everything's through your phone. So, if we don't have a translator, for example, that is signed up for a particular day, I usually do it. And I'm running around like crazy all day long at meetings. So I'm usually like on my phone. So it's a mobile job. So you can take it wherever you are, as long as you're able to be in communication on your phone.
And I have a question too.
Sure. Hi.
Hi, it's Raquel. I don't know if you remember.
Yes. Hi.
I saw you at the mall.
Yes, I do remember. Thank you so much. And you've been signing up a lot lately. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this. I'm so happy to help. And yeah, I the only question I have is I think the number of orders depending how many volunteers you have, maybe.
Yes.
Because sometimes I got the first days I got 10, and I think the next time I got 6, and I think it's depending of the shoppers you have available, right?
Yes. So it depends on the number of shoppers that have volunteered for that particular day and how many families they sign up to deliver to. So we may have one shopper. Yeah. So one shopper may sign up for 4 families, and then, we have a larger number of orders. So the more volunteers we have, the larger number. And then the translator also receives your number. Also depends on how many translators have signed up for the day. So if we have 5 translators and 20 families, right, you're dividing 20 families by 5 translators. So it depends on how many shoppers and how many translators are signing up for the one day.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes I want to help more, but I have I'm asking why I have only 6 or 5. Yeah, it's depending the other volunteers.
Yes, also. Exactly. Yep, it depends on
but for me, everything is fine for me. It is very organized.
Thank you.
And the other volunteers are very, very nice.
Oh, good.
Sometimes the first time that was my first time, I was a little bit confused because shoppers, they don't know how what to do when the person is not at home or something like that. But I send the copy you just send in the mail the instructions with, and it's very clear about you can leave the stuff at the door, but sometimes we have the wrong numbers too.
Yep.
But I'm trying, you know, to I'm trying to, because today that I had a person with the wrong number. It was 442, but I tried with 443 and it works.
Yeah.
And that's one, yeah, but it's like little things, but
Little
sometimes we
things.
have days more complicated.
Yep.
But everything is the I like, because the other volunteers are very, the communication is very good.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, thank
So
you so
happy.
much. And we know that, you know, sometimes unfortunately numbers are entered wrong or the address is wrong, and that, you know, we have it just happens sometimes. And, you know, we've been trying that, we all try our best. And so, you know, everyone is volunteering, everyone is doing their best. And so people usually are pretty understanding, but sometimes we have mistakes. But that's why, you know, letting the families know the night before may be a better opportunity to get them to answer by the time the morning happens, but that's not always possible. You know, if you work late at night, I know that I'm up late at night doing work. And so, you know, it just depends on, we just all have to be patient with each other. And there's always going to be little errors, but we do our best. And some that, you know, having that communication, the translator job is so important, because sometimes the translators are able to find the problem before it becomes bigger. But I know a lot of our shoppers a lot of times feel hesitant to leave an order in front of a door and not know if someone got it, because it's food, right? It can go bad and they get worried. But there's really nothing else we can do at that point except to just make sure that we, you know, we're doing what we can on our end, and hopefully the family will receive the order in the end.
Yeah, it's because sometimes the people, they don't answer. I'm trying to you know, and I know the other volunteers are sending me pictures when they drop off the stuff and everything, but I asked them again to confirm they get everything.
Yeah.
And I make sure they say thanks, and I got it, you know.
Thank you.
I double check with the people.
Yeah.
And
Thank
I
you
have the
so much.
picture of the volunteer, but I need their confirmation, you know, because they say, okay, I got my order, thank you very much. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult with the people, they don't answer it, and sometimes, and that's what I have a system now about have different colors, and I have a notebook, and I'm
awesome
working with the answer in the morning when they got the stuff, and when they say thank you, and when they, you know, confirm confirm the order. That's what I'm doing now. And I have everything clear at the end of the day. And the same thing with the other volunteers. And, you know, make sure I say thank you too.
Thank you. Thank you to you. You know, I know this is such, to be able to, for families to be able to communicate their needs is so important. And what you're doing means a lot. This position, this volunteer position, is one of the most important ones. I mean, all of our volunteers are important, and we do, I mean, it's all from the heart. But you know, we know the labor that goes into this, and it's a labor of love, and our families appreciate it. And so we appreciate you. And, you know, all of our volunteers, and Kiana, thank you for, you know, what you did in this whole time that we've been open. And, you know, I hope you're able to continue volunteering with us. And I hope that, you know, we want to hear feedback, and we want to know what the concerns are so that we can try to address them in the best way possible, because we want the experience for everybody to be a positive experience. And so, you know, like I said, we're all human, we do our best. but, you know, and we're trying to serve our community in the best way possible. And this is just a blessing to have everybody who's working so hard to ensure that our families in Howard County are eating and that have access to food. It's a shame that we live in a country that not everybody has access to food. It's unacceptable. But thank you for everything. Does anyone, any other questions or concerns before we wrap up?
No, I just want to say thank you too, because this is helping me to feel better, because, you know, doing positive things, helping people, not only, you know, sometimes we need to help. I love to help people.
Thank
know,
you. Yeah.
and appreciate the opportunity to, you know, to volunteer. It's
Well, we
good.
appreciate you and thank you for everything you do, and just know that you're making a difference, and everything you're doing is having a positive effect on our community. So thank you to you. And again, reach out to me if you ever have any questions. I'm always here, and just, it means a lot to us to have such a dedicated community. So thank you. We appreciate you.
Great job.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Thanks again. I'll post this on our Facebook page, and we appreciate your time tonight. Have a wonderful, what day is it? Wednesday?
Wednesday.
Have a great have a wonderful Wednesday.
Good night.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you so much. You too. Thank you so much. Bye.
Me pongo